Hello my loves, it's me Paul. Right, a little bit of a story around this. So, when I was a vegetarian, years and years and years ago, I used to go to a cafe, a local cafe called the Gallery Grill, who did this cheese flan, which is what we called it, which reminded me of a school dinner that I used to have and love, which is why I had it in the Gallery Grill. Anyway, I happened to be in the Gallery Grill the other day and I saw this tray bake and I thought, surely I can veganise that, especially now that we've got Cathedral City. I thought, surely there's a way that I can veganise that. So I said to Jay, I says, get us a sheet of short crust pastry from Sainsbury's. So he has done. And at the moment, this tofu, which is the cauldron tofu, is on offer in Heron food shops for 50p. Short dated though, it's dated the 1st of February. Anyway, I bought 4 because I thought I'll use them. Easy. I've already bought pita breads to do veg egg pittas with tofu scramble and veggies. Beautiful. Anyway, this is the experimental recipe vlog for cheese flan. So what is it? Right, it would come in a really big metal tray bake like this, but loads bigger, school dinner size and cafe size, way bigger than that. Short crust pastry on the bottom and up the sides, and then inside a kind of like fluffy cheese, and in my school largely it was always done with onion as well. I remember it occasionally just cheese and thinking, yeah, it's alright, but I personally prefer the cheese and onion one. And it's like imagine like a quiche type filling. Well, you can do that with tofu, as you may have seen on this very channel with Quiche Karen and the mini quiches. It's an easy thing to do with tofu. So I'm going to blitz 2 packets of this in the food processor until there. You'll see. I'll show you. Let's get started. If you've never seen one of my recipe vlogs before, by the way, they can be quite chaotic. I love this one. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. Anyway, I just thought to myself, right, I've got to chop an onion and grate virtually a full block of Cathedral City vegan cheese. So then what I did was I sat one of these in there and thought, right, that's half filled anyway, so I might not end up using 2 blocks. I might just end up using 1. Now, I'm not gonna bother draining it, as in pressing it. I'm just gonna drain it and squeeze it out. So how rude of me. Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm just gonna squeeze it out just a little bit. I don't mind a little bit of that liquid in there necessarily. Right. And this is just going to go straight into the food processor. Probably break it up into a few bits first. Straight in there. Lid on. Oh, come on. Do you know, it's right messy, and considering that it's just for like, so you can put it in a mixing bowl with some other stuff, and then you've got to clean all this out after. But you know, if it tastes good, it's got to be worth it, isn't it? And that's what it's all about. It's about never denying ourselves plant-based versions of the tastes and textures that have given us very fond memories over the years, be that from school dinners or home cooked mother dinners or whatever. We can recreate them all with just a little bit of ingenuity and a plant-based heart. Right, I do reckon that might be enough. Yeah, because I've got to like mix the cheese with it, yeah, and so that's going to bulk it up. So, and little Miss Isis is scratching at the door. So if you just give me a second. Hi, you're going to be all confused now because there's balls all over the floor that I have to take out the cupboard to get my food processor out. She's alright, she's found her food, she's sorted. So, we've mixed this into a fine, you know, it looks like a crumble. I suppose it kind of is, a tofu crumble. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to grate literally a full block. Right, I've checked the dates on my blocks of Cathedral City plant-based. I believe we got one of these from Tesco and one of these from Heron, where it was 20 pence cheaper at Heron. This one is dated the 7th of February, the other one is dated the 21st of February. So I'm going to use this one and I'm just literally going to grate it using one of these ingenious little bowls from IKEA. There it is. Got two of these, you see, a very fine one and this one. These are from IKEA, got them in a set. Bowl graters, absolutely fantastic. Let's do some fun speeding up bits, shall we? Some of it I'm just going to crumble in there because it actually crumbles really well as well. I've never noticed that before, hence the difficulty in grating it. So that might be the way to go with this. I'll grate some of it. Yeah, it's proper crumbly. Got to be really gentle with it when you're grating it, because it just crumbles in your hands. Right, well, I'll just crumble this last chunk in there then, and then we'll get some obviously bigger bits, which will be melty cheesy bits in it, I hope. Yeah, I'm glad I only did that one block of tofu because there's absolutely plenty here. And I'll be back in a second. This is what I'm going to be using. It's Just Roll short crust pastry sheet from any good supermarket, always clearly marked suitable for vegetarians and vegans in text. There it says suitable for vegans. So I'm just going to get this out of the packet for like 10 minutes or so, just to come up to room temperature because it's much easier to handle then. But I am going to kind of roll it out as if, there we go. There we go, just do that. And this mix, I've been giving it a good mix with the spoon, but I'm also, because I want that kind of eggy, cheesy flavour, I'm going to add some black salt Kala Namak. You get this in most world food stores. It's pink, it stinks of sulphur, but it imparts that eggy flavour. And just because it's, you know, it's just plain tofu. A good handful of nooch as well. Now that's not just for an added cheesy flavour, which it will do. It's also for the B12 and the vitamin D, which it's packed with. Bit of salt and pepper. Not too much salt because we've already added Carlin and Mac, and that's a very salty element. Nice bit of black pepper. Here's the bit where you're going to think I'm weird now. I'm just going to add a good slosh of plant milk. Because I want this to be moist. And that's just going to help with that. I don't want it to be too solid. I'd like it to be kind of a bit fluffy, if at all possible. So that is what I have done. Set that aside and leave the pastry to warm for a minute, and then I'm going to chop the last two that we have at home, plot 25 onions. I'm going to chop these very finely and then add them to the mix. We'll come back when it's chopped, I'll show you it chopped. And there's my very finely chopped onion. And I'm just going to get that into the bowl with the rest of the mix. And then give it a good stir around to make sure that it's incorporated with the rest of the ingredients and evenly, because that's the main thing. Right, I'm going to put the pastry on this tray. I think Jason and I have done this before. I can't remember what we made. I think it was on a Sunday Live. We made something in this. It was, I think it was maybe it was a cheese, onion and potato pie. So that would have had a lid, obviously. This shall have no lid. There shall be no lid here. Just gotta try and curl it over the edges a bit, because then it's going to be much easier to cut off the excess. Right, I'm going to blind bake this pastry for about 10 minutes just because I don't want to fill it with this stuff now. So I'm pricking the bottom so that it doesn't rise, or it rises as little as possible. Just pricking the bottom. So there is my pastry lined and pricked pastry sheet. I'm going to put that in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and put the filling in, and then I'll cook it for as long as it takes, tell you how long at the end, and we'll see if it works. Alright, I gave the pastry a short while, very short while in the oven, and it's already shrunk down from the side, so I don't want to risk doing it anymore. I'm just going to start filling it up with the mixture, and what I've also done is the pastry that I had left has filled into a little pie tin, so I could do an individual. I mean, I know Jay can take a slice of this for lunch, but I can do an individual one, you know, which would be nice. Be nice for the Jason. Pushing it into all the corners, trying to make sure that it's a very similar depth all over so that it cooks evenly, you know, as thick on the edges as it is in the middle. Okay, right, ready for the oven. It's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out, because if it turns out anything like the cheese flan that I had in school, I'm going to love it. So I'm going to put that in at the back there and put the little pie tartler thing in the front. We're on 180, we're at full heat. I'm going to have a clean up. It's 25 to 7. When I take it out, I'll let you know. Just remember it was 25 to 7. I'll tell you the time when I take it out, but I'll be in chaos by then. 25 minutes in and it's looking spectacular, bubbling away. Hello my loves, I've just taken it out of the oven. It seemed that the small one cooked first. Hopefully you can get a good look of that one. So that's the individual one for Jason to take to work. This has just stopped bubbling, by the way. I did do a little Instagram short whilst it was bubbling. If you fancy popping over there and having a look, the link's always below in the description. And here is what I believe is a perfect recreation. Oh, it's still runny as well. A perfect recreation of old school cheese flan. So we're going to be having this for dinner tonight with chips and beans, because it would seem rude not to. So there'll be another little segment telling you what it tasted like. But that, my loves, looks like it's worked. And there we go, my loves. A nice close-up for you before I cut it. It smells gorgeous. Alright guys, Jason and I are, as I've said, we're having this for dinner tonight, but it would be rude to cook something like this. Whoa, nice firm short crust, and not do just a little taste test. So let's just cut a really small bit. Alright, let me get a side plate, Jay.
I mean, when I came in from teaching, the smell in this kitchen was incredible. Right, so it's coming a bit closer. And get Polly doing her job properly. Oh, yes.
Ooh. Slidey McGee.
Oh, suits you, sir. Right, let's shove it in our gobs.
Yeah, let's. Hey, Jay's home, you can tell with the nice close-up. All the rest of the shots were just me in the kitchen like So we've got 2 forks and our, as you just saw, our lovely.
You cut what you want and then I'll eat the rest.
You will not eat the rest, Jason Bromley.
As we said, it smells divine. I came into the kitchen and I was blown away. I won't, I'll just have a bite off it. Ready?
Oh my god, I've nailed it. I've nailed it. That's it. That's it. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely.
And the thing is, I actually remember it. I remember it distinctly.
It's gorgeous.
I remember having it at school on a regular basis. And it was always like that. It was like, the only way that I can describe it is...
it might have been a little bit firmer.
Not mine.
Oh, right, okay.
It was, the way I would describe it is loose.
Right.
It was always loose. It was always proper tasty. That's bang on, that, mister.
You could muck about with the ratio of tofu to cheese. You could use less cheese because that's what's made it kind of like really runny. I mean, it's not really runny. It's standing up.
Yeah.
To its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it's connected to the pastry, but it is very soft. But it's very cheesy. Very oniony, because as you saw, I put our last 2 allotment onions in.
Oh, nice.
That's gorgeous. I can't wait to sit down to that chips and beans, which is exactly what we're having for dinner tonight. Like I said, please have a go. If if the cheese flan is a fond memory for you from school dinners, just veganised it really easily as well with shop bought things. You don't have to make your own pastry. Balls to that, Barbara. Buy a ready-made sheet, just so know what they're doing, and it's vegan. You know, the Cathedral City cheese adds that real tangy cheesiness, and the tofu gives you the kind of quiche eggy
The consistency that you want.
texture. And the onions, it was until 10 past, by the way, exactly 10 past, so it was 35 minutes on 180 and it were done.
And if you do end up having a go at it, and I highly recommend it, let us know down
Please
in the
do.
comments
Yeah, do.
how it turns out and what you think, because I think that is, you've smashed it out of the park, babes.
I know.
It's spot on.
Yeah, it's because my taste buds rule my life, and if I want something and I want to recreate it and I'm a vegan, I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
And imagine that.
Nature finds a way.
Paul finds a way. Yeah, awesome. Well done, babes.
Thanks, love.
Love you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something from this. If you think some of your friends that you went to school with might be interested, pass it along to them. You know, let's all try and promote veganism as much as we possibly can. And when it tastes that good, why wouldn't you? Hey, we'll see you again very soon. Until then, please be excellent to yourselves and each other. Bye, love. Gonna get my air fryer right now, get my chips on, get my beans on, change my blouse. It's all picking up. Bye, love.